Steam not be supporting? It's possible technically. Because I need to put my glove. Okay. Are we back in business or what? Because, like, I don't know, dude. Why would Restream care how much? I mean, it could be that you need to go into the paid tier or access 60 FPS streaming, but no. The upload speed just fluctuates between 0 and what it's supposed to be. It could just, but I do have quite a few bars and it does say 5G. So I don't know. I suppose I'm gonna have to troubleshoot it with the, with everything. Starting on Wi-Fi. Okay, 1 second. Okay, so whatever this is, I don't know. Off that could have been I don't know, things from functioning properly. Well, if it's not going to work, then whatever. I honestly I don't know. I may have time to troubleshoot it later. If this is just the quality of my connection, then there's nothing I can do about it. If it's not, maybe we'll get to the bottom of it eventually. It's not actually that cold today. You guys are babies. It's not that cold. But I don't know, man. I think it's right. Stop. It's right in the uncomfortable zone of kind of between us needing this jacket and the CEO sweater. Sorry, Bridge, accidentally pressed the button. My giant gloves made me do so. Alright, well, anyway. So, here's what I've been up to for over a week, I think, at this point. I was actually thinking of streaming from the insides, but I don't know, dude. I just got so much shit to juggle. Like, there's never, like, that's the problem, there's never a good time to start streaming other than right now. And if you cannot figure out how to start streaming right now, well, then you're never gonna be a streamer, essentially. Like, maybe when you're 12 years old, maybe even 15, but if you're any older than 15, you don't find time to do something. You make time for it. I mean, I realize that a lot of Zoomers, a lot of NEETs probably would disagree with me on that. But the problem is that when you're in NEET, as long as you're not a Zoomer, you don't have free time. Like, I have so much shit to do, personal, creative, just chore-wise. Like, there's nothing. There are no holes in my schedule, because even when there is a hole, something just takes it automatically. And streaming is something you're supposed to do 24/7 for multiple months to even get anywhere. I mean, dude, last time I was actually streaming full time. I was streaming pretty much every day for about 6 to 8 hours. Yeah. I mean, there were periodically days off, but I remember, for the first 2 months, for the first month I streamed like almost literally every day. and those were long streams too. And it's something easy enough to remember, actually. I was just no-lifing RE4. I needed to unlock the professional difficulty because I wanted to replay the game on professional, obviously. And yeah, I was, also podcasting at the same time, literally non-stop. So that was funny. It was a fun experience. My biggest thing, though, that I learned from that entire experience, for the first, I would say, probably 20-ish hours of streaming, there was literally not a single soul. Funnily enough, though, there were real people in the chat periodically, and quite a few of those people end up kind of like sticking around, actually, to the point where, like, I am kind of like in semi-contact, with them to this day, and especially through one of those connections, I have gotten to know, like, literally my bro mate, my bro soulmate, the person with whom I align in so many fucking planes. Finding someone like that in real life is just borderline impossible. Only the internet can help you, I realized that, like many fucking, 1,000 years ago, by the way, that if you want to find someone who actually shares your interests, chances of you finding those people in real life are extremely, extremely low. Unless you live in just big enough city that has all kinds of, like, I don't know, well, cliques, so to speak, like metal clique, rock clique, whatever, indie rock clique. But it also has like nerd cliques, like D&D cliques, and just, maybe like a little bit of a fighting game community. But even then, you're gonna go to those communities like, oh, dude, I used to be part of the gaming community, part of the fighting community, FGC, so to speak, in Europe. And dude, those people are just assholes. And the amount of like assholes, just generally speaking, not particularly good people, like you find in those communities. Because, like, dude, competitive gaming is, I'm not even gonna say, oh, it's a toxic environment. No, it's like literally the most fucking pathetic people ever, who for some reason think they're hot shit. It is such a weird combination of, like, dude, everything about you is pathetic, and yet they act, they act like bullies towards each other. It's like such a, not even bullies, it's like prison rules, type of environment. Like, I do not particularly relate to those people. And also the funniest thing is that the only other type of people who are actually honest in those communities you find are basically people who are like super autistic into the thing. And again, my problem is that I can hardly relate to those people, because, like, I don't care that much, honestly, about Magic the Gathering. I mean, I would if it was actually good. Unfortunately, it isn't good. The idea of Magic the Gathering is good, but Magic the Gathering itself is not that good. It's actually rather bad. D&D is fun and all, but D&D is literally, masturbation. And it's a very fun creative exercise, for otherwise creative people. But those creative people, like, I am a creative people. I need like some kind of actual creative outlet, not just, it's like, sure, you can sit down with your bros and like shoot shit and make jokes about, like, wouldn't it be funny if such and such thing happened in Metal Gear Solid? Wouldn't it be funny if, like, Snake, like, entered the room and, like, such and such thing happened? Yeah, that would be so funny. And, like, because Kojima has the same kind of humor also, by the way. So yeah, it's funny, to think about those things, absolutely. But like you eventually want to, eventually need the creative faculties need some actual food, other than just candy. What's that guy who's supposed to be some kind of celebrity in that like celebrity episode with Snoop Dogg, some Hollywood producer, and there was like that other shit, some other dude with them who ended up hooking up with J-Rock's Mexican girlfriend. Trailer Park Boys, the episode, the Netflix era, when they opened their all-inclusive casino resort, whatever, and Snoop Dogg showed up with his gang, and his gang were like those two guys I've never heard about, but it was obvious that one of them is a Hollywood producer, but the other one I have actually no idea. The one that ended up, hooking up with J-Rock's pretend girlfriend. He is like he said there, right? Like, I want some actual food, maybe. It was fun having nothing but edibles for a couple days, but it's like, you're trapped in the Willy Wonka fucking factory. You eventually want something that isn't candy. Yeah, anyway. So yeah, but simultaneously, me actually meeting said soulmate bro was just a giant fluke, honestly, out of nowhere, because the internet doesn't really quite function like that anymore, because every single platform where people of similar interests could soulfully meet no longer really exists. Like, message boards have been just like platforms for just like extreme unmoderated shit posting, or if it's moderated, then what's the point even at all? Reddit obviously very quickly became unusable because it was overtaken by normies, and god damn it, I need, oh my god, yeah, I'm sorry Bush, I didn't want to do that, had to step on you. So yeah, like already, ever since I would say maybe late-ish 2000s, but definitely since early 2010s, it's been so difficult to find anyone on the internet who's actually real. Because it was mostly just people, looking for slop, looking for some kind of brain cancer, looking to shitpost. Again, nothing can be taken seriously. Everything needs to be a meme. Everything needs to be ironized. Everything needs to be turned into a joke. And I appreciate jokes, but like, are we gonna take anything seriously at all? Maybe, for a change? That wouldn't necessarily hurt, I believe. Like, shitposting, meme posting, always been part of communities, but communities are supposedly also, they form around things that people appreciate for one reason or another. But like, where's your appreciation? Like, is meaning the entirety of your appreciation? Because you do realize that like most of meaning on subjects is rather disrespectful and dismissive, and displays your attitude of like, this thing is, at the end of the day, the thing is stupid anyway, and fuck it, right? So, is it even irony anymore when all you do is irony? I think it's just fucking brain rot at that point. And it's been like that for a rather long time. I am not even old enough to catch the golden age of the internet, honestly. I was super young when the internet was in its proper golden age. Oof, dude. I remember I discovered the internet, I was like maybe 10 years old. I really wanted to read some manga. I really wanted to read manga. I was probably older than 10. I might have been 11 or 12. I remember a friend showed me Animatrix I believe. Yeah, I might have been 13 actually. Yeah, showed me Animatrix, Cowboy Bebop the movie. Those were the DVDs that the dude had, and I think I then, because there were hardly any DVDs at all of that shit, I went out and found literally the only DVD that was there, and I also saw like half of it on TV one day. I bought myself the Megami-sama, Megami-sama OVA, the 4 or 3 part, I don't remember. Fantastic OVA, by the way. It has non-original designs of characters. It has the contemporary designs of characters. Well, contemporary, like the timeless ones. When you think Megami-sama, you think those designs of characters. But original art style of Megami-sama was actually much less conventional and I believe more interesting. I mean, partially it is interesting because it's just different, you know, from what we used to see. But also it is just different from conventional modern style. So that makes it kind of like refreshing. Even back then I was like, oh wow, this art style is really different. This is interesting. Yeah. Well, anyway, so I started getting into animes, you could say, you know. That would be an understatement, but let's just say I was getting into animes in the age basically before internet. We didn't even have DSL at that point. A few people did, but even if then, like, you wanted to download something over DSL, first of all, you were either downloading in absolute fucking shit garbage quality. We are talking literally an entire season of like a show. So like 20, you know, 5 episodes or whatever, 24, 20-ish episodes would be like a gig. I kid you not. You know, for people who wanted to watch like Naruto or Dragon Ball, you know, those people were looking at literally multiple fucking like DVD ROMs they had to burn just to exchange those fucking shows. And it was considered like, how should I put it? You were considered to be a community leader if you were one of the people, you know, who could actually burn that shit onto a disk and send it to someone. And the quality was absolute garbage. Compression was bad. Shit was overcompressed. Starting from the, you know, quality being 480p to begin with. And it wasn't like that, but it was okay 480p, but oh, even by those standards, shit was pretty blurry, dude. Yeah. And sometimes people would actually re-render shit in even lower resolutions than 480p. 100%. We would watch like some anime. I remember I had an Initial D movie. I don't remember which one. It might have been the second or the third one. And it was literally like 240p. Yep. I have no idea why, but you know, some reason the dude just, you know, who created that rip, you know, felt like compressing the whole thing, you know, downsampling it to 480p. Like, yeah, you know, to save space. To save space so that people could actually download it. Because even on DSL, like, DSL was basically only like 5 to 10 times tops. Mostly like 5 to maybe 7. Like, most people had DSL speeds like between 5 to 7, yeah, times faster than regular modem. In regular modem, 56 kilobit per second was obviously, like, you do realize what 56 kilobit per second stands for, right? Like, that's not even enough to stream an 128 kilobit per second MP3 file, right? Like, you couldn't even stream a song. That's how slow it was. You would literally wait a minute, if not longer sometimes, depending on how well the site was optimized, how well the assets were compressed. You would wait a minute or longer, you know, for a web page to open. And then, yeah, if you wanted to download something, like, in good quality, even on DSL modems, you know, so like there's dial-up modems, we usually call them just modems, right? and the DSL. DSL was like a separate line that was much faster, but then again, compared to what? To dial-up? So it wasn't really that fast to begin with. But anyway, so I was on the interwebs before DSL were even a thing. The DSL thing started becoming more or less majorly adopted, I would say about a year after I got into the internet. So I still got into the whole area of, you know, you could basically only use it during nighttime, right? Because daytime, your mom needs to get a call from her friend about, you know, to listen to a story or, about what happened on TV last night or whatever. So you could barely use the thing during daytime. You would maybe log in like real quick, like for literal like 1 minute to open your messenger, to open your ICQ, you know, and see if you got any messages, and real quickly tap something back and then turn it off, right? Because, you know, otherwise mom's yelling at you. Why is the phone making the weird sound when I pick it up? You know? Or even better, just someone calls. Someone calls and that's it. You don't have your connection anymore. You have to wait 6 more minutes, you know, for the connection to reestablish, to reconnect back to the internet. So fun times. And yeah, by the way, 56 kilobit per second, like on a modern websites, not a single modern website would even open at speeds like that. Not a single one. It's just physical impossibility. Yeah. So yeah, I do remember, right? I wanted to read some manga, finally. And yeah, oof, I joined this little tiny, you know, manga community of translators and scanners. And it was like that. That was a fucking community, dude. Like, you have nothing like that anymore. If you're into anime or manga, that's all on Reddit. If you are into video games or something, where are you gonna go? NeoGAF? Like, where are you gonna go to, you know, talk to people who actually understand a thing or two, and opinions that are actually educated? And yeah, stream 1 hour a day, every day, for, well, I don't know, 10 years. If you actually do it every day, you may get somewhere, perhaps, all right? In some category that actually matters, that people are actually interested in. But most people won't do that. So a more realistic option is stream 24/7, you know, over the period. That may actually work, but it's all well as it used to. Day. The whole process used to actually work. Now it doesn't anymore. A bit of a waste of time, but yeah, I should probably look for opportunities to make time for it. I just wasn't like that into it. I long from the. I'm probably gonna test things streaming directly to Kick. So if you gonna use Kick as